Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday. Margaret Lloyd here with Eternal Shift, New Life Changes. All right, today we're going to talk about managing trauma. We've all been through a lot of trauma. I went through, well, as a child, I went through years of neglect. My parents weren't mean. They didn't beat us. Uh, basically, they did their thing and we were kids. We were there. We were the problems. Um, I know our parents loved us, but I know Dad put himself, he worked a lot. He was a hard, he worked out in the oil field. Wasn't easy work. Um, he wasn't crawling on the rigs and stuff, but he was making sure the rigs were drilling in the right spots and stuff like that. And Mom was a homemaker, and I guess she was busy keeping house clean, and she did keep the house neat and clean and orderly. Um, Always meals on the table. But there wasn't a lot of this. From the parents. I was heavy as a child, or at least I think I was heavy. I just remember my mother always telling me, quit eating so much, quit being the garbage disposal. Um, and then other kids at school, fatty 2x4 jokes and stuff like that. And that was as a child. And then when my parents divorced, listening to them fussing and fighting all the time, houses back then, the walls were thin and you could hear everything going on. Um, and then my first marriage was okay. It produced my beautiful daughter Tara. Hindsight's 2020. As I think back, I was probably the one marriage I should never have cut short. Probably would have worked out very well if I had just had my stick-to-itiveness, like I did with the last wedding marriage. Stuck with that for too long. Too long. But that's done. Then I got married again. First one lasted 6 years. Second one lasted almost 8 years. He cheated on me. Then my dad died. And then I met Martin. Everything was fine then. He was a good provider, good husband, thought a good father to Tara, therefore thought he would be a good father to any children we would have. But we all know differently because he wound up beating our one son to the point that he's so damaged it's not even funny. Can't hold a job. Has a master's degree in early childhood education and can't use it. He's had it for almost 25 years. Can't use it. He can't get a teaching job now. I mean, and all because his father forced him into this position because his father thought that he should be, our son, should play for the Dallas Cowboys. Bo didn't care about football. He enjoyed it, but he didn't care about it. He didn't love it like Martin did. He wanted to quit playing football before he even got into junior high. He enjoyed playing flag football, but he didn't want to play football for all of his adult life. He knew that wasn't what he wanted. But he couldn't have what he wanted. His father would not allow him to play a musical instrument or learn how to program a computer, because that wasn't job worthy. That wasn't what Martin wanted for his son. What Martin wanted for his youngest son was for him to be a professional football player. He's a big boy. He's going to be on the line. He's going to be on the O-line. He's going to be on the D-line. He's going to be on the line. He is going to be the line. That's what his father wanted for him. Me, I want my kids to just be happy and healthy. And they're not. I know my daughter's not. I know she loves her husband, but I just have a feeling it's a marriage of convenience. Don't see a lot of love interaction between them. It's strange. But that's the way they are. But anyway, we're getting through this trauma, and we're all going to get through our traumas one way or another. I can get rid of these constant sneezes. It's ridiculous. Okay, so to take control over your trauma, you need to focus on self-care practices like mindfulness, relaxation techniques, deep breathing, meditation, regular exercise, healthy eating, and sufficient sleep. Build a strong support network by talking to trusted friends. Would love to do that. Family or a therapist. I do have a therapist. Engage in activities that bring you joy. I do that. My knitting, my crafting. It all makes me happy. Seek professional help if needed to process your experiences and develop coping mechanisms to manage the effects of trauma on your life. Key strategies to manage trauma. Acknowledge and validate your feelings. Absolutely. Don't downplay your experiences. Allow yourself to feel the emotions that arise from the trauma. And I do that all the time. Because my trauma was something that happened to me every day for close to 20 years. My husband prostituted me. Every day I think somebody's going to walk through that front door and expect unprotected sex. Because none of them wanted to use a condom. They refused. And as far as my husband was concerned, I already had herpes, vaginal herpes. So what difference did it make if I got another STD? Another one could be something more deadly. So it did matter. It did matter to me. It didn't matter to him because he wasn't the one getting the disease. Because he wasn't the one having sex with these guys until he did. And he did. Because I bitched and complained about it, so he decided that he would do a blowjob. And he did. Many blowjobs. In fact, he got to where he enjoyed it, and if he didn't think I was giving it out enough, he'd do it in the middle of the night. He'd go upstairs in the attic and have his sex. It just disgusted me because I didn't want to do it, but I did. Whatever he wants to do, I'll let him do it because it isn't affecting me. So, we've acknowledged and validated my feelings. Seek professional support. A therapist can guide you through trauma-informed therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy or eye movement desensitization and reprocessing to process your trauma and develop coping mechanisms. That's what I'm looking forward to working with a therapist that can do that. So far, I've just been talking with a psychiatrist, and she's been giving me medications. And I'm not sure that medication's what I need. I put in to get an appointment with a therapist, but I haven't heard anything from them. Guess I have to give them a call. Maybe they forgot about me. That's okay. I'm easy to be forgotten. Practice mindfulness. Meditation and deep breathing exercises can help you stay present in the moment and manage overwhelming emotions. Absolutely. Because it's the emotions that get overwhelming. Not so much the activity, it's the emotions. That's why I keep this bruising over here. Because I can't get rid of the emotions. I keep crying. Engage in physical activity. Exercise releases endorphins, which can improve mood and reduce stress. Absolutely. I love taking Snickers for a walk. That is so much fun. We have fun going for walks. But anyway, so physical activity, that always helps. Build a support network. Connect with friends, family support groups, which I'm working on getting into a support group, who can offer understanding and encouragement. It's always good to have. And I do have that with family and friends, mainly with friends. I talked with a couple of friends the other day that were actually, I met them through my ex-husband. They were co-workers of his. And now they don't like him. They don't like what he did. So that's good. So, I do have a good, network of friends. And a support network. They think I'm doing great. And I do too. I'm doing a lot better than I was when my podcast started. And even before then. Man, a year before my podcast started, I was a basket case. I was a nut. Okay. Set healthy boundaries. Learn to say no to situations that trigger your trauma and prioritize your needs. Come here, Snickers. Mommy's got bites for you. Sit down. Sit down and eat. Say no to situations that trigger your trauma and you need to prioritize your needs. Not others' needs, just your needs. Prioritize what you need to do. Practice relaxation techniques like progressive muscle relaxation or guided imagery can help alleviate physical tension associated with trauma. And that always helps. Oh, I wish I could just quit that. And I think some of my medications cause that, so I need to change some medications, I think. So, journaling. I love journaling. Write down your thoughts, feelings related to the trauma can be a helpful way to process them. I think about the trauma that I experienced, and I'll write down ways that I can work through the issues. So far, it's working really well, and doing this vlog helps a bunch. Trust me. Y'all can do this too. We'll just have all these mental health blogs going. It's good for us. Good for us to listen to each other. That's why I'm always asking for you guys to leave comments as to what you might want to or need to have discussed. Like I had somebody ask the other day about, what was it? Stopping seeking external validation. That was interesting. Because I too always looking for external validation. Well, now I know after researching it for this young lady, I don't need it. None of us really do. As long as we have internal validation, as long as we have our self-love and internal validation, we don't need it from somebody else out there. We only need what we need, and that's what we need. Limit exposure to triggers. Identify situations, people, places that trigger your trauma and try to minimize exposure to them when possible. Now, my first, and I never understood, sit, Snickers, sit. Never understood this to be a trigger. But I remember one time I was in Denton, Texas at the grocery store. This was after the idiot was arrested. And I'm at the deli counter. I'm going to get some fried chicken for Mom and I. And there's a gentleman next to me, looks over and goes, "Hey, aren't you Hot Granny Peg from Strip Chat?" I go, "She doesn't exist anymore." She died. No. Yes. I retired. I killed her. I'm done. My husband was forcing me to do this. I let him know. I had let several know that I was being forced to do this. So I limit my triggers. Needless to say, I don't go to Albertsons in Denton, Texas anymore, now that I'm 200 miles north of there. Focus on self-care. Absolutely. Number one thing, every day, get up, self-care. At the end of the day, self-care. You must do this. This is the best thing for you. It will help you. It will help clear your mind. It will help internalize your love and support, because this is where you need it. This is where you need it. You don't need it from out there. You need it from in here. Okay? So we need to do that. Can we do that morning? Absolutely. In the morning, as soon as you get up, at night before you go to bed, while you're washing your face or brushing your teeth, you do your self-care. Talk to yourself. Talk nicely to yourself. When you get up in the morning, say, "Happy day. Good morning. Let's be happy today. Let's be peaceful. Let's show our love. Let's be compassionate." Absolutely. Because when you focus on self-care, that helps you with getting regular sleep, nutritious meals, enjoyable activities to support your overall well-being. And that's what we need. We need support of our overall well-being. Now, important points to remember. Healing takes time. The trauma, at least for me, my trauma experience lasted 30 some odd years. I hope nobody else has had a trauma that lasted that long. But remember, it takes time. Don't expect to get over trauma overnight. Absolutely not. I don't expect to. I don't expect to be completely over it for a few more years. But that's okay. Relapse is common. There may be times when your symptoms worsen, and that's okay. That's because something may trigger you, and it just may trigger you at a time where you're just very sensitive, very easily irritated, and that's okay. Just get through it. You can do this. You need to be gentle with yourself. Practice self-compassion throughout the healing process. Every day, day in and day out. That's why I got this dog. She is part of my healing process. She was the first thing I ever picked up because I knew she could keep me grounded and not so much up in my head. And she has. Coping with traumatic stress reactions, PTSD. Continue practicing relaxation methods. Try different ways to relax, including muscle relaxation exercises, breathing exercises. Limit your media exposure. Absolutely, especially at this time. Media is bombarding us with threats and difficult things going on in the world. I keep seeing in papers where China's coming after our electrical grid, our water, our food. And I know USDA will take care of the food. They'll keep them out of the food. I know that. I trust the USDA to do that. I'm sure the other departments will do the same. Energy, commerce. They will do everything they can to help us. Participate in social activities, even if you don't feel like it. Do normal activities with other people, activities. And I know how, because trust me, the first year after my trauma, I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I did what I had to, but I didn't do any more than that. I didn't talk with people. I was afraid to talk with them. Other than I talked with the police and the district attorney's office and my attorneys. But I was afraid people would think what they would think of me. And I am finally starting to get back to my normal self. It's been a long road, but I think I'm finally getting there. And I know that once I get there, everything's going to be so much better. And I know with your help and support, I can get there. So again, be sure to like, subscribe, and please leave me a comment. If you don't like something, let me know. If you do like something, let me know. If you would like me to discuss something specific that you maybe haven't had the time or the ability to research, let me know. I'd be happy to do it for you. Okay? And then I'll talk about it on here, and you can listen to me. So with that in mind, have a blessed Friday. Peace, love, and love each other. Take care of yourselves. Bye. See you tomorrow.